More details emerge from the plan to kill the Supreme Court Justice. Suspect Nicholas Rosk supposedly told the authorities that he was planning to shoot the Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh. A man from California supposedly told the authorities that he flew to the East Coast to kill the Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh, according to newly filed judicial documents. Nicholas Rosk flew across the country of California to Virginia on June 7, 2022, landing just before midnight. He got into a taxi and instructed the driver to take him to a house in Maryland, where Kavanaugh and his family resided. Rosk, who supposedly brought weapons with him, was near Kavanaugh's house on June 8, 2022, but received a call from your sister, whom he had sent a text message. I told her what I was doing, what I was doing, and she told me that this wasn't the way to try to make the world a better place and, she didn't want to, she wanted to have me as a brother for the rest of her life. And not, with this ending, said Rosk in the interview room inside a Montgomery police station. Rosk told the police he was planning to break into the house, shoot Kavanaugh and then shoot himself, according to a newly filed transcript. He chose to call 911 instead of continuing his plan. I need psychiatric help, he told the dispatcher, on a call that was previously released. The police ran to the place and arrested Rosk. He is programmed to go to trial yet this year and face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. Rosk's lawyers presented the transcript of interrogation, along with other documents, as part of motions that seek to suppress the statements he made to the law enforcement as any mention of the items that the police were supposed to find in his bag. The police officers illegally searched Rosk's belongings and couldn't properly get a resignation of their rights before interviewing him, said the lawyers. Federal agents who questioned Rosk got his signature on a form resigning his rights, but this resignation wasn't voluntary and intelligently wrote the lawyers in one of the motions. At the time, Sir. Rosk was acutely suicidal, visibly exhausted and had repeatedly expressed his need for psychiatric care, claims the motion. As these last statements were not preceded by Miranda's valid resignations, they must also be suppressed. The prosecutors haven't responded to the motions yet. Motivation. In another place in the transcript of the newly launched interview, Rosk detailed his motivation to supposedly conspire to murder Kavanaugh, including the publishing of a drafted draft of a Supreme Court decision that would bring down Roe v. Wade, giving the states the ability to regulate closer to abortion. I've been suicidal for a long time, and when I saw the draft leaked, it made me upset and then made me want to, I don't know, Rosk said. I was under the illusion that I could make the world a better place killing it. Rosk said another motivator factor was that he heard the Supreme Court would loosen the weapons restrictions, which would make people easier for weapons. Rosk agreed it was ironic that he could get a gun before traveling to Washington area. He had several psychiatric insurance placed in him in the past. However, as more than 5 years have passed since the last, that didn't stop him from buying a firearm. I'm sure this citizen is someone weak spiritual, and probably left. The left always seeks to do harm when they can't refute the idea of your opponent. Very sad such a situation, but what do you think about this matter? Leave it in the comments.